Wall Street continues its gradual bullish run despite headwinds from the energy sector. Benchmark indexes closed higher on a Tuesday. Today, the market is awaiting Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech to get more clarity on the future of monetary policy. InstaForex analysts have already made their forecast for the trading day and are ready to share their insights with you. Meet our fresh video review of the US stock market. As a result, the S&P 500 notched its seventh consecutive session gain, while the tech-heavy Nasdaq recorded its eighth straight advance, the longest such streak for each index in 2 years. By the closing bell, the S&P 500 added 12 points to 4,378 points. Wednesday's premarket trading pushed the index even higher. Index futures added 0.05 to 0.1%. As for the outlook for the S&P, the index is expected to move in the range of 4,350 to 4,398. In a best-case scenario, it may climb to 4,428 points, while the worst-case scenario suggests a decline to the 4,310 mark. Given that Tuesday's macroeconomic calendar was bereft of any important news releases and corporate reports, all eyes of market participants were on the speeches by Fed members. Expectations that the regulator will end its tightening cycle have increased in recent days, but the market is still vulnerable to these statements. Fortunately, they were quite encouraging on Tuesday. According to Fed Governor Christopher Waller, third-quarter U.S. economic growth at an annualized 4.9% rate was a blowout performance worth keeping an eye on as the central bank considers its next policy moves. Fed Governor Michelle Bowman said she took the recent GDP data as evidence that the economy not only remains strong, but may have perked up speed and require a higher interest rate. Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari and Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee also did not rule out possible interest rate cuts. Dallas Federal Reserve Bank President Lori Logan noted that she supported leaving the Fed's interest rate on a hold last week to assess whether financial conditions are tight enough to bring down inflation. At the same time, she pointed out that inflation is still too high. Bonds supported the stock market, and the yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note posted its fifth decline in 6 sessions. Yields extended their slide following a solid auction of $48 billion in 3-year notes. A decline in yields helped lift mega-cap stocks such as Microsoft, Apple, and Amazon, thus boosting the S&P 500 index. The energy sector, the worst performer of the session, fell by 2.2% as crude prices lost over 4%. Wednesday's pre-market trading maintained market sentiment. Stock index futures edged higher, albeit modestly, and this is due to the Fed Chair Jerome Powell, who is due to speak after the bell. Today, Powell's speech is likely to be the key driver shaping market sentiment. Besides, on the latest data, the overall picture should prove a relief to the head of the Fed. But what signal will he send to the market? Notably, in addition to today's speech, Powell is set to speak on Thursday. If the market does not receive clarity today, the market will most likely extend its sluggish rally tomorrow. According to the Fed Watch tool, markets are now pricing in rate cuts as early as May. with the likelihood of a cut of at least 25 basis points having increased to nearly 52%, up from about 41% a week ago. All in all, the yield on the benchmark 10-year US Treasury note remained at 4.56%, well below the 5% level posted in October. Recall that 10-year bonds worth $40 billion will go under the hammer later today. In the corporate segment, it's worth paying close attention to the quarterly statements of Warner Bros., Discovery, and Biogen. Shares of electric vehicle maker Rivian Automotive were up by 6.8% in a pre-market trading after raising its full-year production forecasts. In the currency market, the US dollar index continues to regain lost ground. If the Aussie's losses against the US currency were most notable on Tuesday, it was the British pound that came under the pressure today. As a result, the index managed to strengthen to 105.80 by the opening of the US trading up by 0.26%. As for the trading outlook, the index is expected to trade within the range of 105.50 105.80. However, if Powell does not shed light on an interest rate policy, the index may soar to 106.10 and 106.30. The US dollar extended its gains against the British pound on Wednesday as the British government bond yields fell on the lack of new tax cuts in the British government's budget plans. The British pound's move, as well as the euro's, is fairly natural given the difference in economic potential with the United States. In addition, if Powell refrains from dovish signals today, the US dollar may recover to 106 points. As for the Canadian dollar, it continues to be squeezed by the rise in US dollar and falling oil prices. As a result, the dollar loonie pair gained 0.2% and rose to 1.3793 at the opening of trading. The pair is projected to move within the range of 1.3750 and 1.3820. Today, fresh statistics showed that the total value of building permits in Canada dropped sharply by 6.1%, down from a 4.3% in the previous months, against market expectations of a 1.6% decline. It was the biggest drop since April, as the total monthly value of the non-residential segment plummeted by 21% to $4 billion. Notably, markets expect the Bank of Canada to start cutting interest rates as early as April, as the economy has clearly started to slow down and a technical recession could occur as early as this quarter. As for the cryptocurrency market, it continues to consolidate, with the underlying assets moving little and trading mixed today. At the opening of the US trading, Bitcoin approached $35,380, and the major altcoins fluctuated between 0.9% gain and 0.6% loss. As for the trading outlook, the baseline forecast suggests a move in the range of $35,100 and $35,600. If bulls manage to push the asset higher, Bitcoin may test to $35,890. The worst-case scenario suggests a drop to $34,910. Binance Web3 wallet is among the noteworthy market news. The company announced the launch of the wallet at the Binance Blockchain Week conference in Istanbul, highlighting that it can be integrated into 30 blockchain networks and connect users to multiple decentralized applications. And with that, we wrap up our daily market overview. If you have any questions or want to share your view with us, feel free to write a comment. We are always open to feedback. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notification to always be aware of the latest trends and changes in the market. So, see you online soon.